You hear it all the time, right? AI is going to change everything, from how we practice medicine to how we create art. But what about something even more fundamental? What about our classrooms? Can artificial intelligence really transform how we learn? Now, this sounds like a question a teacher might ask today, staring down the barrel of something like ChatGPT. But this was actually asked way back in the 1990s by a math teacher in London named Asia Kazmi. She was just watching her students, totally silent, completely engaged with this adaptive math program on their computers. And that question, what's the point of the teacher when technology can do the teaching? Well, it's more urgent right now than it has ever been. It really gets to the very heart of both the promise and, the peril of AI in our schools. But here's the thing. Instead of seeing a threat, Asia saw a tool. She actually used the data from that simple program to figure out exactly what her students needed. So she split the class, creating targeted lessons for one group while the other worked on the computers, and then she'd switch them. And the results? Get this, her students' math scores became some of the most improved in the entire country. Incredible! Okay, so let's zoom out from that one classroom in London to, the entire globe. Because Asia's story isn't just some neat little anecdote. It's actually a potential model for tackling a truly staggering global crisis. What you're looking at here, it's a devastating number. Globally, 7 out of 10 children in low and middle-income countries cannot read a simple text by the time they're 10 years old. And look, that's not just a statistic. It is a massive equity gap that literally determines the future for millions and millions of kids. And this is where the conversation about AI gets really serious. It's not about shiny new gadgets. It's about whether this new technology can give us a toolkit to finally address some of the most stubborn problems in education. So let's break them down. First up, the classic problem, the one-size-fits-all classroom. You know what I'm talking about. Every student learns at a different pace, they have different strengths, and when a student falls behind, it's incredibly difficult for them to catch up, which, way too often, leads to them dropping out entirely.
And this is exactly where AI can offer a direct solution. We're already seeing personalized learning platforms like MindSpark in India and Edu in Kenya that literally adjust the difficulty of the lessons for each student. And then you've got AI tutors like Rory in Ghana, offering that one-on-one guidance, almost like a human tutor, to boost a student's confidence and, of course, their grades.
The second huge challenge is all about teacher support. I mean, teachers are so often overworked and under-resourced. They're dealing with huge class sizes, endless admin tasks, and just not enough professional development. In some parts of sub-Saharan Africa, it's so tough that up to 40% of teachers can't even demonstrate proficiency in the very subjects they're supposed to teach.
So here, AI can become a teacher's best ally. Imagine AI-enabled coaches like TeachFX that let teachers practice their skills and get immediate feedback, or lesson planners like Teacher.ai in Sierra Leone that help create top-notch resources. Even AI assistants that can automate grading and attendance. That frees up a teacher's precious time for what actually matters, teaching.
And finally, there's the content problem. I mean, think about it. Creating textbooks, lesson plans, tests, that's already hard enough. Now imagine trying to do all that for dozens of different local languages and cultural contexts. It's just incredibly expensive and slow, and it leaves so many students trying to learn in a language that isn't even their own. AI offers some really fascinating potential solutions here. AI translators are being tested right now in places like South Africa and Mali to instantly make content available in local languages. You've got AI assessors that can grade verbal and even handwritten tests, giving instant feedback. And while it's still pretty new, AI evaluators could one day help entire education systems make better policy decisions based on real-time data. Okay, so the potential is clearly massive. But, and this is a big but, technology is never neutral. If we just throw AI at these problems without a plan, we seriously risk making things worse. That's why having a clear ethical blueprint is absolutely non-negotiable. The Gates Foundation and others are proposing 5 core principles to guide this work. First, equity. It has to be built in from the very start. Second, data privacy for students and teachers has to be protected, period. The tools also have to be ethical, fair and just. They have to be backed by solid evidence of accuracy. And finally, we have to measure for real impact. Are students actually learning more? That's what matters. Because really, when you strip away all the code and the algorithms and the whole high-tech shebang, you're left with the most important part of the equation: people.
Technology is, and it always will be, a tool to help people do better, not to replace them.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with Asia Kazmi. Her conclusion, after decades of experience, is really the key takeaway from all of this. It's not about the tech itself. It's about how it's integrated into a teacher's work, how it empowers them to do what they do best, but even better. So maybe the question we started with, can AI transform education? Maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the real question we should be asking is this: how can we use this powerful new tool to truly empower our teachers? Because that is where the real transformation will begin.